We move on to Unit 2, Infection Control and Prevention. So we learned in Unit 1, infection, how it's being transferred, and so on. Now we move on to how we can control the infection. Okay, so let's on to one of the people who is an advocate now, who is an advocate now of cleanliness. Okay, Nightingale. So she is the founder of modern nursing, okay, and has a theory on environment, which states that one. Okay, let's start with the sepsis. These are measures now used to prevent infection from entering open areas. Example of which, and the most common will be the wound. Yes. Okay. Pati yun, pwede nyo. Okay lang. Okay. Yeah. So that any opening or any portal of entry, okay, as much as possible, we clean it so that no or minimize ang organism na papasok. So we have two types, okay, of aseptic technique, the medical and the surgical. So basically for prevention of contamination, okay, of the openings with microorganisms. Okay, so we have here medical asepsis. It's the clean procedure. So a state of being free from disease-causing microorganisms. So that clean procedures would mean there still is a certain degree of microorganisms present, but not to the degree of it causing disease. Okay? So that maingay sila. It's concerned basically with eliminating spread of microorganism through facility practices as well. So give me an example of a facility practice that will show an aseptic technique. A facility would mean hospitals, clinics, ganon. Okay, alcoholizing. Okay, so your hands, like the hand hygiene. Okay, so for example, for a dental clinic, the mere fact that we are disinfecting chairs, apparatus. Okay. So those are some of the ways in which facilities or hospitals or healthcare settings now could prove or could show medical asepsis practices. So that please, since aseptic technique is a major concept in the medical field, never unlearn this, please. Because it's a must for us to take note and at the same time practice. Okay? So we move on now to the 3 levels of medical asepsis. You're sterilizing, disinfecting, and cleaning. So give me an example of sterilizing where you make something free from bacteria or other living organisms. Give me an example. Boiling, you put it in, boiling water and then okay, so the actual water, for it to be sterilized, you have to boil it for about 15 minutes boiling. Or yeah, any other? Okay, mga dentist ata kayo. Okay, but anyway, so any equipment for, di ba, managing now the mouth as a dentist, you have to sterilize it prior to using it to other people. At home, what is the method of sterilizing sa inyong bahay? Hand sanitizer, okay. Not quite, that's not sterilizing. Binababad sa hot water. Actually, you're not supposed to babad it, you're supposed to boil it in hot water for sterilization purposes. However, hindi ko kasi bate yung mga nagpapadede sa bote. I'm a breastfeeding advocate and as much as possible, we would want to teach breastfeeding to mothers. And that is one of the challenges we have as healthcare providers for mothers who now get pregnant early. So, mga teenage pregnancies. Or hindi lang teenage, pero yung mga mothers na we know or we see na hindi ready. So, why? Is breastfeeding easy? No, breastfeeding is not easy. And hence, you really will see mothers who do not want to breastfeed. Pero sayang, kasi ang ganda-ganda ng breast milk and then they do not maximize the use of the benefits of the breast milk. Anyway, okay? So, anyway, if, for example, wala talagang choice and you now opted for bottle feeding, then make sure to sterilize because the baby will not have natural immune factors from the breast milk supposedly to combat now just in case there is a microorganism that enters the gut of the baby. Okay, so another would be disinfecting. Okay, what are some of the disinfecting procedures you do at home? It's making use of chemicals to destroy bacteria. Yes. Okay. Muriatic acid. Uy, grabe. Okay, so you don't use muriatic acid on a regular basis, ha? Because it's very corrosive. However, if your toilet hasn't been washed for 10 years, pwede. Okay, it now is for dirt, what they call that, heavy stains and grime and dirt. But be careful because it's lung toxic and eyes toxic. So it's toxic to the eyes and toxic to the lungs. Any other disinfecting? Okay, baking soda and vinegar will be also good. Okay, baking soda has a property plus vinegar has properties of antibacterial. Okay, any other? From the people at the back, are you still awake? Yes. Oh, bakit walang nagre-recite dyan? Yes. Okay, very good. Bleach also in the form of your commercial bleaches, Clorox, Zonrox, ganun. Okay, so that next would be, so anything that you cannot sterilize, usually we disinfect. So for example, you disinfect the floor, you cannot sterilize it, so disinfect it instead. Okay, usually for bigger items or implements, ang disinfecting. Sterilizing is for smaller ones. Okay, cleaning, removal of unwanted substances. That's a very typical activity every day. What are the cleaning materials you have at home? Broom, mop, stick broom. Okay, very good. So, what is your personal choice of cleaning? Wow, alam nila mag-mop. Talaga, nagmamap kayo? Ginagamit nyo talaga? Very good. Once a week? Wawa naman yung mop nyo. Ay, yung floor nyo pala. Okay. Ha? Tinamad mag-mop. Okay. Any other that you personally use? Anything else that you personally use? Map lang talaga? Map lang forever? Ha? Couch roller. Ay, sosyal. Ano yun? Lint remover. Oh, ay, sosyal. Meron siyang ganon. Okay. Ano pa? Vacuum. Oh, masosyal na naman. Okay. Although, yan, duster. Vacuum cleaners kasi are also very good. Kasi nga, when you sweep the floor, tendency of the dust, di ba, na lumilipad-lipad. So, yun. Any other? Sorry? What about? Wiping the windows. Okay? Mga rags to wipe the windows. Okay, yeah. So, next would now be your medical asepsis. Identifying now the pictures there. We have here 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is happening in picture number 1? Okay, very good. In number 2? Number 3? Very good. Number 4? Okay, so the two machines upstairs tuloy. On the above picture are autoclaves actually. Here, of course, just a chemical solution, and this one is a sterilizer. So you can see that in dental clinics, in parlors who are, what do you call this? If they are keen in their sterilizing, you can see that also. Okay. This. Cleaning. What is cleaning? The left or the right? The left hand or right hand? Left hand. Okay. And what is the right hand doing? Okay, kasi although pwedeng nilagay niya yung disinfectant dun sa rug and then disinfecting. Pero kasi it's basically when you use chemicals, you are disinfecting. Okay, pero kunyari ang hawak niya ay sabon, cleaning lang yun. Okay, so basically the number one agent talaga that will help you clean will be soap. Okay, so the soap will enhance the penetration capacity of water by decreasing the surface tension. So imagine cleaning a plate with just water. What is the feeling? Okay, greasy, di ba? Greasy pa rin kahit anong rub mo. Pati yung hands mo afterwards, greasy na rin. But with the use of soap, okay, it now decreases the surface tension between the plate and the grease. It can now make the water flush it away. Okay? So, ganon. So, pati pagligo, di ba? Naliligo ba kayo ng tubig lang? Eh, di ba iba ang feeling? Naglalabala kayo ba? Are you laundering your clothes just using water? Hindi rin. Di ang baho nyo after. Okay? Same is true with, ano pa ba? Taking a bath, laundry. Yan. Okay? So the first evidence of ANA actually is in the 16th century when Dr. Ambrose Paré used an ointment based on eggs, rose oil, and turpentine. Okay? He made the paste out of it and wiped the wounds. Parang ginawang ointment on top of the wound ng mga soldiers who were wounded. And it came out to be lesser in terms of the occurrences of fever, inflammation, and pain. So that is the start na rin of the medication of the break in the continuity of the skin or the wounds of patients. In 19th century, Ignatius demonstrated that hand washing by doctors before childbirth considerably reduced mortality rates. What is mortality rate? Death rates, okay, due to puerperal fevers. What's a puerperal fever? It's an infection or an indication of an infection during childbirth or after childbirth. So, 'di ba, if you give birth kasi, you get to have a lot of lesions or wounds. First, yung birth canal where the big baby enters now and passes through your small birth canal. It may injure the part of your birth canal. And then once it enters now your vagina, 'di ba? Or passes through your vagina, it now can rip on the labial area. So, additional wound. So, after that, okay, tendency of the infection to take place is high because of that. So that, sabi ni Ignatius Semmelweis, just please practice hand washing before touching the mother who is giving birth. Okay? From then, it now has decreased the number of deaths. Okay? As simple as hand washing. So, since then, hand washing, disinfecting now became a big issue or a big thing in the medical profession. Okay? Dito papasok si Maring Nightingale who proposed that operation theaters need to be as clean as possible because they believe that in the surgical space, things are happening. So, she mentioned that clients typically heal better if the surgical space is clean. Meaning kasi, it's the surgical area where the client is open and very prone now to microbial entry. Okay? So, William Halsted, ano naman pinauso ni William Halsted? It's the end of the 19th century Okay, introduction of practice of performing surgery using gloves. Okay, so can you imagine what has transpired before the use of gloves? No. They're making use of actually animal skin or animal parts. Yeah, they wrap their hands with animal parts, and that's the thing they make use to hold, to touch the inside of the body. Okay? So, diba, it's very unsanitary. So that William Halsted said, please use gloves. It's cleaner and it's safer. So again, it was a good thing that gloves was invented. So during the discussion of the PPE that we will have, you will see the history of gloving. Okay? Next is surgical asepsis. What was the number one anyway? Okay, at least you're still listening. So it's the sterile technique. So what was the technique in the medical asepsis? Very good. Clean technique. So what's the difference between a sterile and a clean technique? So a definition ng sterile is, it's using now a set of specific practices and procedures performed to make equipment and areas free from all microorganisms and to maintain that sterility. What's the difference? Cleaning lang yung isa, sterilizing yung isa. Siyempre, clean technique tsaka sterile technique eh. Nilaloko niyo ako ah. Okay, so what now will be a big difference? Okay, very good. So, basically, it differs in the number of organisms eradicated. So, almost 100% or 100% is eradicated in the sterile technique, while when we talk about the cleaning. Ma'am, why not use the sterile technique all throughout? Diba? It's cleaner. But take note, not all treatments and procedures require surgical asepsis. Meaning, clean technique will do. Clean technique does the job. Eh ma'am, it's still cleaner. Oh, ba't ipilit mo ba ang sterile technique? What is the problem if you use sterile technique all the time? Yes? Too much resources. Financial, pati time. Okay? Yes? Ayun. Resources, di ba? Mahal po ang sterile pack kumpara sa clean pack. Okay? Mas matagal mag-sterile procedure kesa mag-clean procedure. So, why waste the time if the solution is not broken, kumbaga. Okay? So, next is, when we talk about sterile areas, we also have to talk about the area, okay, where the patient will be in. So, we have to have the indoor environment or consider the indoor environment. So, consider where people are at. Usually, we are indoors. Di ba? Gaya ngayon, indoors tayo. Okay? Sa bahay nyo, natural, natutulog kayo indoors. Hindi naman kayo sa labas ng bahay natutulog. So, basically, that is characterizing now a specific microbial community, also known as your indoor microbiome. Okay? So, this indoor microbiome actually is the one you build as a family. So, di ba, mapapansin nyo, pag pumasok kayo sa bahay, may certain smell sa bahay nyo. Di ba? And that is the typical microbiome you've created as a family. When you go to a hotel, 5-star, ano ang microbiome nila doon? Amoy malinis, di ba? Ang microbiome nila ang linis. Why? Because they need it for them to be a 5-star hotel. Di ba? Eh pag pumasok ka naman sa not so good house, maliit, cramped up, tapos walang tubig, yung family, once a week lang naliligo. What do you feel will be the microbiome you will inhale there? Diba? So yung parang, parang ang dumi ng hangin, ganon. Yung feeling na ganon is actually the microbiome you are feeling there. Okay? So just imagine now a hospital that has a not so good microbiome. So, can you imagine? So, pagpasok mo, naku, hospital, amoy hospital, di ba? Noon kasi, ang mga hospital mabaho. Not all, pero may kunyari sa yung kung saan nanganganak, obstetric ward. Yung amoy malansang dugo na bulok na hindi mo intindihan. Nowadays, especially in BGH, hindi na. Okay? They've leveled up their cleaning and their disinfecting, which is very good, which means that their indoor environment is clean. Yung hindi ka ba mandidiring pumasok, ganun. Yung you're very much secure, to enter now that facility. Okay? So that there are 2 areas in the hospital that need, of course, the entire hospital needs cleaning. But there are 2 areas that need sterilizing. the indoor environment. So we have here your ICU and your OR. More so for the OR kasi dun bubutsakin yung mga tiyan ninyo, di ba? That is where your body parts will be brought out or open, di ba? So that it's very important that the air or the microbiome in there is clean, as much as possible sterilized. So how can we do that? Is it 100% sterilized? No, 99.9. Kasi as you enter as a person, you are not sterilized. Try mo sterilize sarili mo kung makapasok ka pa sa OR. Okay? Patay ka na kasi after the sterilization. But you cannot sterilize yourself. So the mere fact that you're entering, you're making the OR less clean already. So, but there are measures for us to be able to control the environment. So give me an example of you see in movies. Okay? Scrub suits, okay? So, you don't see, kaya nga dapat hindi nyo ginagamit ang scrub suit nyo outside. Tapos, papasok kayo sa isang hospital that is very clean inside. Okay? So, that the scrub suit should now be worn only inside the clean area. And never bring inside your street clothing. Okay? So, from your t-shirt, your pants, and even your socks and your shoes. Pagpapalit kayo when you enter the OR. In fact, in the OB ward, ganun na ang gagawin ninyo pag magpapaanak kayo. Okay? You change your, naka-scrub suit kayo, change your shoes, socks ata hindi naman na, basta bagong palit please. And then, you wear now either your gown additional and your foot cover. Aside from that, may mikrobyo din yung ano mo, ngipin tuloy, mouth and ilong mo. So, what do? Mask. Okay? So, that is now to protect naman the air pag humihinga ka. Diba? Okay? And your hair, is it clean? Ma'am, bagong shampoo po. Bagong rebond pa nga. Actually, it's not clean. It's one of the dirtiest part of our body and hence, dapat walang kumbaga sa cooking, walang nakalugay na hair. Okay? Kasi the mere fact na gumaganon ang hair mo on top of the wound, now, nagwiwisik ka ng pamintang microorganism dun sa wound. Diba? Okay? More so, if your hair now will touch the wound. Kunyari, may kinuha ka dun sa baba, tas gumanon yung hair mo dun sa intestine ng pasyente. Kawawa naman, di ba? So, we now use your turban or your head net. Basta yon, yung hair, basta parang turban yon. Okay? So, yan. So that, as we will keep the area as sterile as possible. What about the windows? Closed. Okay, so you have to close and never open the window if the OR is in effect. Meaning, may inaantay na operahan, unless cleaning time. In fact, some ORs are a cube. Para siyang block lang na walang windows whatsoever. Kasi dapat sarado siya. Or if ever there are windows, hindi pwedeng i-open na windows ang meron. But in some not so good hospitals, naka-open ang window. Can you imagine, nasi-CS kang ganyan, tapos may hangin, fresh air. Tapos gumagano sa tiyan mo, okay? So can you imagine? The air definitely is a dirty air. Okay? So that, sa mga magandang hospitals, they are keeping it closed. But how can you breathe? Diba? Sarado din doon. Tapos yung sa baba actually, there is meron siya yung parang rubber, so that pati yung air sa ilalim, hindi papasok. Oo. Kasi nga, syempre, di ba, pag may gumagalaw, pagpasok ng air, makakontaminate yung area. So, how can you breathe? Ventilation. Okay, ventilator. We have now a good ventilation system. And, mainit. Kaya laging may air conditioning unit nakabukas. Kaya malamig po ang OR. They need, okay, makinig. Bakit daw sa pediatric surgery mainit? Because the babies, their hypothalamic response is not yet mature. So that they adapt to the environment of the room. So, kunyari malamig yung room, di ganun na rin yung temperature nila. Mag-hypothermia sila, yung pa magiging isang problema ninyo. So that, if it's pediatric, kinokontrol nila. Okay? Pero dapat, hindi naman malamig na malamig. Pero dapat malamig siya. Hindi yung magsusweat ka. Kasi sweat, again, is another source of contamination. Okay? However, the air conditioning system needs to be a very good must have a good filtering system. So later on, you will see ano ba dapat yung HEPA system na meron sila. Okay? So ano pa yon? Yon. Ano pa? Tapos nagsa-scrubbing sila. Hindi lang wash hands. Aside from washing the hands, nagsa-scrubbing din. Pintuan lang yun na sumara ng malakas. Walang pumutok. Okay. Scrubbing. Ganon ka kapag yung sa surgery kayo, ha? Okay, next is the term nosocomial infection. So when you say nosocomial infection, it is an infection that occurs in hospital. It's not present at the time of admission, okay, or during the incubation period of the bacteria responsible for the infection. Okay? So that if I develop pneumonia on my second day of hospitalization, can I singil the hospital?
Yes.
What is the incubation period of pneumonia? Okay. Oh, sisingil-singil kayo, hindi nyo naman nakuha yung pneumonia sa hospital, no? Sa bahay nyo, no? Community acquired. Okay. So that the hospital can contest you on that. They will now show you evidences that pneumonia's incubation period is about 3 to 5 days depending on the strain. So hindi mo po nakuha yung pneumonia sa amin kasi kahapon lang po kayo nandito. So imposible naman po na from yesterday nyo kuha, pneumonia agad yung lalabas. Okay? But for example, after a week, she developed pneumonia, it could now be blamed. It could now be singil to the hospital. Okay? So it's a quality indicator for all hospital evaluation. So if your hospital has been evaluated to have a high nosocomial infection, what does that mean? Dugyot yung hospital. Okay? So 1 star. Yan. So ibig sabihin, they're not practicing infection control too much. Diba? Okay. Now, it is a combination already of the UP and the BSI. Universal precaution plus the body substance isolation precaution. So, example of a body substance isolation precaution is any fluid coming out from the body protection. Example, suka. Anong pwede mong protection from suka? Body substance is the suka. How will you protect yourself as a nurse? Isolating the suka from you. What can you do? Oh yes, kayo dyan. Anong suggestion ng katabi mo? Kaya ka natawa. Yes. Ay, akala ko pa naman tinatawanan niyo yung suka. Okay, so body substance isolation precaution, meaning you are to isolate yourself. Or baliktad, you have to isolate the body substance from you para hindi ka mahahawa. Okay, suka, for example, how do you isolate yourself from suka? Yes. Wear gloves. Okay. Dito sumuka, hindi naman sa kamay mo. Anong gagamitin mo? Maligo. Hindi yung protection. Kasi nasukahan ka na. Yes. Okay, the gown. Okay, mag-apron. If you know that the patient is nauseated or vomiting, may vomiting history, mag-gown na po kayo. Do not wait na nadumihan ka na or nasukahan ka na. Okay? Cough. How can you protect okay, mask. Projectile vomiting. Projectile meaning tumataas na ganun. Hairnet. Face mask. Diba? Kasi talagang bubulwak sa mukha mo yan. Okay. Yung mga ganun. So those are some of the examples of the body substance isolation. Ngayon, ginawa nila plus the UP. Universal precaution. Naalala niyo pa yung sinabi ko sa universal precaution? Ba't siya na-invento? HIV. Okay? So dahil dumadami ng patients with HIV, so they combined now the two. Anyway, so what are the standard precautions? Madugo. So yan yun. Yan kasi yung nasa CDC. Yan yung updated na 2007. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin. Let's assume daw that every person is potentially infected or colonized with an organism. Okay? And they are able to transmit that anytime pag nasa healthcare setting ka. So, yung mga katabi nyo ngayon, huwag nyo ina-assume na mga clean yung mga yan. Madumi. Madumi agad. Okay? So that yes, you can never tell kung sino man yung katabi mo. Again, huwag kayong magre-rely na gwapo at maganda kasi sila yung mas kaduda-duda. Okay, na may ginagawa. Anyway, and kung makikita nyo, makinig, hand hygiene is still number 1. So it is now, yung hand hygiene, may slide ako dyan, kaya wag na yan. Next is your PPE. May slide din ako dyan, so wag na yan. Next is yan ang wala ako. Respiratory hygiene, cough etiquette. So how do you cough now? Okay? Ganun. Wag daw ganito. Wag na daw ganyan. Okay, ganyan. Kasi nga naman, these hands always now can transfer. Yan. So, okay. So that, here ang coughing. Kaya lang, paano kung meron kang friend na clingy? Di ba? They are clinging to here. Nagkikling sila dito, tas halik pa ng halik. Kuminsan, di ba? They dive on your arm. Oh, patay sila. Nasa kanila na lahat ng mikrobyo. Okay. Anyway, next. Cough etiquette. Education is very important. So you teach now whoever you will be encountering to cough properly. Okay? So, yung patient, yung susunod kasi patient care equipment. So, ito na yun. So, when you talk about patient care equipment, anything that was used on a body or on a patient, make sure na wala siyang protein-rich substance. Ano ba yung mga protein-rich substance? Any excreta actually will now be protein-rich. Yung iyong dugo, suka, tae, ihi, lahat yun may protein. Okay? But if you did not remove it properly, then it now disintegrates the DNS ability or potency. Yung DNS would be your disinfection and sterilization. So it will not render now the scissors clean if there is still blood. So kung may nakikita silang scissors tas may konting blood, dinidiscard nila yon. They get another. Okay? So it's just like reusing a plate na 'di ba may mga kanin-kanin pa from the previous meal. Pero nahugasan. But because they weren't removed properly, actually the rice there is more dirty na. 'Di ba? Kasi nalagyan na siya ng tubig, nalagyan na siya ng sabon, naihalo dun sa kinain mo. So maglalasang sabon yung ano mo. Okay? So that make sure it's free from debris. Yan. Whenever possible, also use dedicated equipment. When you say dedicated equipment, sana solo niyang gamitin. Diba? Of course, for equipments that are cheap, okay lang. Ano ba mga cheap? Mga disposables, gloves, cotton, mga ganon. Okay lang. Ano tawag dyan? Thermometer. Kasama yun sa admitting kit ninyo. Ano pa? Gloves, okay. Solo din dapat yan. Hairnet, yung mga ganon. Mga mura at saka disposable, dapat talaga individual. Pero paano kung stethoscope? Diba? Mahal ang stethoscope. You cannot tell the patient, ma'am, bili nga po kayo ng stethoscope para gamitin po sa inyo. Hindi pwede yun. Okay, so you have to provide your own and use it on a patient. So what do? Disinfect it after use. Do not use it on the patient na umuubo-ubo pa habang ginagamitan mo and then fold it and then put it on the pocket. Diba? Although that is a common practice. So ang gawin niyo, hawakan niyo lang. Tapos punta kayo sa nurse's station, disinfect it. Or disinfect it outside the room of the patient. Or pwede naman kahit in front of the patient. Kasi ang gawin niyo ganito para hindi offensive. Before you use it on a patient, disinfect it na. And then after use, disinfect it also. So you can disinfect it na nakatingin si patient. Huwag kayo mag-disinfect after use lang kasi parang very discriminatory ang dating. Okay? So that, avoid now putting it on your pocket without disinfecting it. Kasi ang nangyayari, as healthcare providers, pupunta sa kantin, hindi naubos yung food, yung dessert niya, nilagay din niya doon sa same pocket where the contaminated stethoscope is. That is a common practice actually. So, di ba? Ganon tayo ka-healthy, mga healthcare providers. Okay? But anyway, next is, yan.
Sterilize equipment and the appointment isn't actually being followed. Is the room still sterile or not?
It has to still be maintained as sterile. Okay, so even the equipments will only be opened if it is confirmed that the patient is already there. Although the setup is there already. So, kunyari may OR table, may mga nakabalot na equipment. Lahat naman sterile pa rin. So, as you enter in and out of the OR, make sure it's still maintained clean and sterile. Listen. Okay, and then it will only be open. The critical things there kasi are the equipments. Kasi yun yung in-autoclave, yun yung mahal. Tapos yung mga disposable, yun yung mahal. Once it's open, it's considered dirty already. It's considered unsterile. So, until such time the patient is not yet in, naka-close pa. So, kunyari, nandyan na si patient at matutuloy na si operation, saka pa lang siya i-open. Okay? And that is why it usually takes time also bago maoperahan, di ba nag-aantay? Kasi nga nagsa-set up pa sila. Okay? But basically, maintained clean always. Next is your commodes. Ano ang commode? Yung, it's a chair that has arenola in it. Diba? Yung mga bedside commode. Kasi hindi makapunta sa CR, lagay natin sa sa upuan, tas may ihian na doon. Next would be your IV pumps. Okay? And your ventilators. Ang tendency kasi nito is these are big equipments and usually parang hindi tayo masyadong keen in disinfecting them. So what happens is that, so umalis na si patient, syempre solo niyang ginagamit naman in fairness for 1 week, pero umalis na siya at lahat, naiwan na doon, hindi na siya nalinis. Or pinunasan, ganun lang, pero hindi man lang na-disinfect. Okay, so make sure that if you man an area already, make sure that all of those are considered. Kasi pwedeng nata-transfer through that route. Okay? Next would be environmental control. We already discussed one type of environmental control a while ago. Diba? Yung OR tsaka ICU. So, what's important there is the compliance On the adequate procedures for routine care, cleaning, and disinfection of the surfaces. Okay? So there is, hindi naman tayong tagalinis doon sa area, pero we have to make sure our area is clean. Do not say, no, hindi ko naman trabaho yan. Tawagin mo yung may trabaho niyan. Ganon. So that, for example, when you see a comfort room, dito na lang. Di ba kung minsan mapanghe? Dalas naman malinis siya, pero minsan may panghe factor. So you just call the manang, ma'am, pakikuha mo jay cubicle nga ijay gamin, mga ganon. You just, kasi nga, I'm not saying they're not cleaning. It's just that probably they did not see. So you take charge in letting them know. Kasi ang mga nurses po ang madalas sa area. So tayo yung nakakakita ng mga nasa dulo-dulo, nasa ilalim. Okay, the cleaners don't do it, especially if it's not yet time for cleaning. I mean, ando pa rin yung patient, yung mga ganon. So you take now the initiative to tell the cleaners, pakikuha man, yan, pakiayos naman yon, pakilinis naman yon, and so on. Gamitan mo naman ng ganito kasi hindi natatanggal yung amoy, ganon. Okay? And you have to make sure you know the protocol in the hospital. Okay? Last class ko na ba kayo? May isa pa, no? Oh my gosh. Okay. Masakit na yung aking lalamunan. Okay, basta any equipment in close proximity with the patient. Next are linens. You are to remove the linen there. How will you handle it? So make sure the dirty side in. So pag ganon. Pag ganon. Okay, make sure you don't touch the area where the client was at. So dun sa top, huwag mo hawakan. So sa ilalim ka humawak. And with a gloved hand, fold it now in. Dirty side inside. Malaki yung mga kumot. Ang dami. Anong gagawin mo? Embrace it. Do not embrace it actually. Okay? Because all of the microorganisms will now be pagkat on the gown or on your uniform. And then when you come out, may nakita kang best friend. Hi, best friend! Oh, nag-embrace pa kayo. Di napunta na sa kanya lahat ng mikrobyo. Okay? So that you are to carry the linen this way. Distansya talaga. Hindi siya pwedeng yakapin na ganyan. And then, do not put it on the ground kasi, ma'am, madumi naman eh. Dinumihan mo pa yung ground. Di ba? The microorganisms of the patient are there on top. Tapos nilagay mo pa sa floor. Nagets nyo? Okay? So, do not make the floor dirty. Or meaning is, you don't add to the microorganisms on the floor. Okay? So, you put it on an area where it is a commonly dirty area. Like the laundry basket or the hamper or the laundry chute. Yung igaganon mo lang. Tapos pupunta na siya sa labahan area. Ganun. Okay? So, what else? Do not also spread. Anong tawag doon? Shake the linen. Parang yung ginagawa nyo sa bahay. Yung ginaganon nyo. Yung pag inaayos nyo yung bed ninyo. Lahat ng dumi nasa ilalim, tas yung kumot, ilalagay nyo lang on top. Okay? Or pagpag, bawal din. Yung ginaganon-ganon nyo yung bed, bawal. Because all of those would render now all the particles to be moving. And buti sana kung sa room lang. Paano kung lumabas? Okay? Next would be to dispose of sharps. So needle stick injuries is the primary concern of healthcare providers. Huwag kayong magsasabi na, ma'am, hindi po ako Ako very careful in a way, but I still have pricks. Okay? Hindi pa ako masyado sa ospital, parang ganon. So that we have to make sure that we safely handle now our needles or our sharps to prevent injury. Okay? So there is a video. Precaution, again, it's a combination. Yung standard precaution is a combination of your BSI plus the UP. Okay, so this, let's keep the universal precaution because I did not finish the slides. Transmission-based prevention muna or precaution. This is the second tier of basic infection control. It is used in addition to your SP. So, ang dami na niya, di ba? Yung transmission-based precaution plus SP pa. Okay, so basically, it now is dependent on a particular agent kasi. Yan. For example, so we have 3 Ay, mali. Ayan. We now have caution muna. So when you say contact precaution, okay, make sure you are protected from contact, tawag doon, mode of transmission diseases. So give me an example of a disease that ang mode of transmission is a contact, direct contact. Sino pa ba hindi nagre-recite? Wala, pare-pares na tao nagre-recite. Nag-recite ka na. Chickenpox. Okay, so skin, yes. Mpox. So, may naririnig, ay may nakita akong nag-raise ng hand sa likod kanina. Ala, sino yun? Yes. Dami Contact. Okay, but anyway, so anything usually skin or may lesion or merong there's a substance that you need to protect yourself from. So we have here your gloves, okay? Or the wearing of the gloves. So you wear it before you enter and before you come out, make sure to remove it na. Huwag kayong pupunta sa labas and then dun pa lang kayo sa labas magre-remove. Kasi the mere fact that you're removing it outside, you are now dropping again the microorganisms wherever. So, kunyari, nasa hallway ka pa, gumaganon-ganon. Oh, you've tracked it on the hallway already. But make sure that, for example, this is your patient, make sure to remove your gloves here near the patient also. So, we can contain also the spread of the microorganism. And then, hand hygiene, according to the standard precaution. So, we have the separate slide for hand hygiene because there are different types of hand hygiene. Gowning also, so you don upon entry and then remove again, okay, and then hand hygiene again within the environment of the infected, okay, and then patient transport, just in case, you make sure that protected po whatever it is that needs precaution on the skin or on the body of the patient. So, for example, the patient now has burns or has wounds here, make sure it's covered. Hindi siya yung, when you transport it, naka-expose sa public. Patient care equipment also, using disposable as much as possible. Okay, or patient-dedicated use sana. Okay, so that the equipments that you can use for the time being for that single patient so that there will be no spread. Okay. So next would be airborne precaution. So this would now be your tuberculosis. Okay, measles, chickenpox are airborne. Okay? Although contact din kasi si chickenpox. Pero respiratory din siya, si chickenpox. Ha? Measles, yeah. And then, yeah, Spanish flu, COVID, yeah. Okay? So patient placement, AIIR. So it's a special type of room that I will be showing a picture of a little later. And ano pa ba? Monitoring air pressure daily is a must, and keeping the door closed is a must also. Patient transport, limit again, and then wear a surgical mask. Okay, so it's different kasi when it's a face mask, it's different if it's a surgical mask. Okay, hand hygiene also, and PPE. Okay, so yun yung mga kailangan na precautionary measures. So when you talk about an airborne infection isolation room or the isolation room for airborne patients, patients with airborne conditions or infections, it should be a single room equipped with special air handling and ventilation system. So that is very expensive. So can you imagine in the Philippines if we cannot afford? So what will we do? We just do away with what is available. Okay? Unfortunately. So ang importante is to maintain a negative pressure so that we now prevent room air from entering the corridor. Meaning, we now prevent the room air to escape from the infectious room. Okay? And then, the air evacuated, of course, there needs to be an exit of the air. But it has to evacuate through a ventilating system that is HEPA or High Efficiency Particular Air Filter. Okay? HEPA, hindi siya hepatitis ha. High Efficiency Particulate Air Filter for the removal of pathogens to occur before it mixes with the outside air. Okay? And then, standard and airborne precautions are strictly prohibited. Are strictly observed, I mean. So that protective environments, pakibasa na lang kasi parehas din yan. Madali lang basahin. This is an example picture of the rooms that are AIIR and a protective environment. Okay, so when you say protective environment, we are protecting the one inside. Example of which would be burn patients. When you talk about an AIIR room, we are protecting the people outside. You get that? Okay? So that we now have a mechanism not different. So if you look at the air movement, okay, here from the door, air from the hallway enters the patient's room, okay lang. Because it's a cleaner air outside than the room inside. Gets? Okay, kaya nga may negative pressure so that the air will enter. If there is no negative pressure, what happens? The air goes out, which we don't want to happen kasi magsaspread ang airborne infection niya. Okay? Look at the ventilating system. Air will be sucked out, but it will now pass through a HEPA filter system, a ventilating system, before it could reach the outside air. Okay, if none, usually that's the common reason why there is spread of the airborne diseases. Okay? Here naman, there also needs to be an entry of the air dito sa protective environment. Okay? So that it needs now to make sure that the air entering is filtered so that anything that comes in contact with the patient is clean. And whatever it is na meron siya sa room niya, pwedeng lumalabas din doon sa corridor. Okay lang. Okay? Basta wag yung corridor air ang papasok. Okay? So, yeah. I think that's it. Handling utensils, ang dali lang naman yan. Pakibasa na. No, it's not multiple choice. It's not SATA. It's dictated quiz. Ay? Yes. No? When?